Now at 7, the search for Nancy Guthrie continues as investigators deal with an influx in tips. We'll have the latest in the investigation, including the new evidence that may have been found.
Plus, lawmakers considering a new bill that would use your tax dollars to fund renovations at Moda Center. Why they say the upgrades are vital to keep the Blazers in Portland.
And efforts to save a local ice rink are getting the attention of an Olympic star. Why the quad god wants to step in and help. We have more on that coming up at 7:30. Sunrise streaming live at 7 starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Matthew Herchick. Rod Hill and Chris McGinnis standing by with a look at the weather and traffic. Happy Friday Eve, gentlemen.
Yeah, happy Friday Eve to you. We're about 12 minutes away or so from the sun popping up. And we have this mid to high level cloud deck that's coming in off the Pacific. It will move off to our east, and we'll see increasing sun this afternoon. But what it's doing right now is giving us just some spectacular colors as you look up and off to the east. There's the Chehalem tasting room camera out in Sherwood where it's 35. Here's the Vancouver, the Springs to the waterfront camera, again looking at Mount Hood and beautiful colors on the Columbia River. 34, it's been down to freezing in various areas of Clark County, and there's a view from the top of the Wells Fargo building. So temperatures generally above freezing, but some areas are freezing. We'll go 35 out the door here in Portland, 46 at noon, and then the clouds will be off to our east, and we'll see pretty much a sunny afternoon with a high of 53 degrees. Here's Chris.
That sounds lovely, Rod. All right, let's go ahead and get you out the door. We'll start off in Clark County. The I-5 South Drive starting to get a little bit busier coming down from SR 500. Actually, this is Mill Plain right there. We'll zoom in on that in just a second. In about an hour or so, or 2 hours from now, WashDOT will be doing some guardrail repair on I-5 southbound in the Richfield area. 2 miles of southbound I-5 will be down the lane as they do that. That's from 9 to 1, so be aware of that. Farther south near Mill Plain, as we mentioned, the drive's starting to get a little bit busier into North Portland. There you can see we're creeping along a little bit up near the Expo Center. Right now, that trip in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge is up to 14 minutes at last check. China?
Thank you, Chris. Developing this morning, lawmakers are considering a bill that could potentially steer public money towards a $600 million renovation of the Moda Center.
The upgrades are a key piece of the Blazers' long-term future here in Portland. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson in studio with us with more on that meeting and what city leaders are saying about the investment. Corey.
Yeah, Matthew, China, it was a public hearing for Senate Bill 1501, which could help bankroll major renovations at the Moda Center. The arena bringing in around $670 million to the regional economy every single year and employs thousands of people. Now, Wednesday was the bill's first public hearing in the Oregon Senate. It would create a framework for shared ownership of the arena between the state and the city of Portland, with funding for renovations tied to taxes on players, performances, and nearby businesses. Now, the city would also plan to make a hefty investment, including $120 million for the renovations, on top of operating expenses the mayor says they're committing to over a 20-year period. Some, like Stephen Wright with Tax Fairness Oregon, opposed that bill during that hearing on Wednesday, saying taxpayers are footing the bill.
The risk of losing the Blazers far outweighs the cost it's going to take to just bring this stadium up to state-of-the-art fashion.
Thus, Oregonians, especially the poor, will be paying for what should otherwise be the owner's financial responsibility.
Now, the proposal has the support of Governor Tina Kotek, Portland Mayor Keith Wilson, and Multnomah County Chair Jessica Vega-Peterson. Legislators will discuss that bill again in a work session on Monday.
Corey, thank you very much.
It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up.
People living on the streets in Portland are speaking out after the city discovered tens of millions of dollars in unspent funds. That money was found in the Portland Housing Bureau's budget.
So the city says it was recently discovered after it hadn't been properly tracked or budgeted. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us from Northeast Portland. Thomas, what else did the homeless community have to say about this?
Yeah, we spoke to a couple of people who are trying to claw their way out of homelessness and say that a little bit more government assistance would go a long way. We spoke with one man named Jeff yesterday. He and his son were evicted from their apartment after losing government assistance. Jeff is unable to walk on his own, and his son is diabetic, requiring life-saving medication. Finding housing, Jeff says, has been really challenging.
Best Multnomah County will give us is a single-man tent and a sleeping bag. Tell us to go sleep on the streets.
And on the Central East side, we met a man who has been living in a shelter for 8 months. Caleb Moyer is working and going to school. Still, housing remains out of reach.
Every time I go back there and talk to the case manager, I just feel like that they're not really doing their job. I just feel like that I'm not really getting helped.
The United States in it.
Both say they could really use some more help. Though as for that $100 million plus in unspent housing funds, the city says it can't go out immediately. It needs to be budgeted first, and some of the money can only be used for certain things. We're told around $20 million could be used to help people pay rent. City Council is currently considering 2 pieces of legislation to do just that, but those plans must be formally approved through the city's budget process, and that can take months. And addressing the homeless crisis has been a big priority for Mayor Keith Wilson since he took office. When we reached out to him for comment and explained the story of these 2 men, he said that this underscores the urgent need for all Portland residents to have a safe, stable place to sleep every night. Matthew, China.
Reporting live this morning, Thomas Schultz, thank you very much. Meanwhile, Kaiser police are still looking for the suspect or suspects involved in the first of 2 shootings Monday night in Kaiser. A father was shot in his car while leaving the In-N-Out with his family, including 2 young kids. Now, the dad was hit in the head, but officials say he will survive. Another man was shot in the leg in that same incident. Now, a few hours later, a separate shooting occurred where someone was shot at a delivery driver in that same area. That delivery driver was not injured, and police have arrested a suspect in that case.
The search for Nancy Guthrie continues as investigators wade through more than 4,000 new calls and tips. Those tips coming after authorities released video showing a person of interest in the case. Yeah, and now law enforcement has expanded the search into the Catalina foothills after finding what could be the gloves worn by the man seen in that video. NBC's Alice Barr has the details.
Investigators tracking new leads this morning in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, with our Tucson affiliate KVOA reporting that authorities found a pair of black gloves as they expand their search and have sent them in for DNA analysis. KVOA also reporting investigators are asking neighbors in the Catalina foothills to check their doorbell cameras for footage from January 11th between 9 p.m. and midnight. That's 3 weeks before Guthrie went missing, and from the morning of January 31st, 9:30 to 11. The community on edge, worried especially for older neighbors.
The thought of this happening to any of them is scary and sad, and yeah, I hope she comes back home so we can all feel safe again and so that her family can be happy.
Today's show co-anchor Savannah Guthrie and her siblings have called for the public's help to bring their mother home. And the Pima County Sheriff's Department says they've received 18,000 calls since Nancy's February 1st disappearance, with a surge after the FBI released this recovered video of someone tampering with her doorbell camera. Following one lead, Pima County investigators detained and then released a man on Tuesday and searched a property in southern Arizona. Authorities have not identified who they detained or why, but this man, Carlos Palazuelos, says it was him and he's innocent, noting investigators showed a relative photos of a masked man.
And they supposedly look like my eyes.
He says he delivers packages in the Tucson area but had nothing to do with Nancy Guthrie's disappearance as the community rallies to bring her home. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
The U.S. labor market got a boost in January. The economy added 130,000 jobs, more than double what economists expected. Healthcare led the gains while manufacturing saw little change, but revised numbers show 2025 was weaker than first thought, with just 181,000 jobs added last year, the slowest hiring since 2020.
Your time now is 7:09. Look at this view from our Wells Fargo Skycam. I don't think I've ever seen a more beautiful sunrise here on Sunrise. It's the sun is just
sunrise.
like it's
very
beautiful.
Fitting. It is very vibrant.
Well, we've got this mid to high level cloud deck passing and it's broken, so it really adds to the pretty colors that we're seeing. You can see the cloud deck here from Seaside. Not as pretty as what we just saw from the Wells Fargo camera, but you're getting some early morning colors. Of course, this is mostly looking off to the west. Temperature out there in Seaside, 36 degrees. Here's the Vancouver, the Springs of the Waterfront camera. Look how absolutely glassy the Columbia River is. The winds out in the gorge have completely faded. Even light winds up in Corbett right now reported. Again, you see breaks in the cloud cover and the pretty early morning colors. We've seen 32-degree numbers here in Vancouver right now, 34. Other temperatures generally were above freezing, but not everywhere. There's Scappoose at 32. West Lynn, though, and downtown Portland each at 38 degrees. Aurora 35. Salem, Albany each at 34. Nice day today. Not quite as warm as yesterday. Yesterday was 58 in Portland. The cloudiness that we're seeing right now is going to be pushing off to the east. So we'll actually see partly sunny skies this morning, coast and valley, then mainly sunny skies this afternoon. Still up into the 50s, as you can see, and then the increase in cloud cover this afternoon with a lot of you holding in the 40s out across eastern Oregon. Some areas hitting 50 degrees. All dry, 53. Clouds tomorrow. It looks like we'll stay dry in the morning, and then rain comes into the valley in the afternoon, and then it's a pretty rainy Friday night. Valentine's Day, though, an improving forecast. Scattered showers decreasing in numbers during the day. And while the rain chance on Sunday is not zero, meaning there could be a shower, overall it looks to be mostly cloudy and mainly dry. We get into active weather for a number of days starting Monday afternoon. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. Our Thursday morning drive getting a little bit busier out of Clark County right there. That's I-5 southbound. We'll bring you across the Interstate Bridge and zoom in on North Portland here up near the Expo Center. We're moving along at about 25 miles an hour, so actually that's not that bad, but the drive time right now, 13 minutes to get you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Over on the west side, there's a live look at the Sylvan Hill, Highway 26 right there. Down below, of course, this is Skyline Boulevard. Traffic still zipping along okay there. And last but not least, there's the Banfield out near the Hollywood District. Well, obviously the sun's that direction, so this would be the westbound commute. That too is getting busier, but not too bad. Right now, 16 minutes gets you in from Troutdale to downtown. China.
Thank you, Chris. The U.S. medal count continues to rise, and coming up on Sunrise, we take you live to Italy with more on what Winter Olympic events you can look forward to today. And later, a bizarre situation out in Walport where a pilot gave a thumbs up from the cockpit after crashing his plane and getting stuck 50 feet up in the air. How it all happened coming up at 7:24. Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues after this.
I'm Matthew Herchick, new morning anchor at KGW. I'm a huge sports fan, and I know I might be from the Buckeye State, but I'm excited to explore what the Rose City has to offer. I want to make sure you're prepared for the day, whether it's bringing you breaking news or sharing those inspirational stories that make you smile. We've got you covered. Because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to Portland's #1 streaming newscast, Sunrise, weekday mornings from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+. The Medal Count is brought to you on KGW by On Point Community Credit Union.
And that medal count starting to look a little bit better. The United States now tied with Norway for the second most total medals with 13. Italia still in the top spot with 14 total medals, followed by Austria and Japan. And as we showed you, those medals, yeah, they just keep coming in for Team USA.
And we're going to kick it over to Cheryl Preheim joining us live in Milan. Cheryl, with the addition of Jordan Stoll's gold in speed skating and Madison Chalk and Evan Bates getting silver in ice dance, what medaling events do we have to look forward to today?
We have a medal to report that's on the board now. We've got a bronze medal. Jessie Diggins, four-time Olympian, the most decorated cross-country skier in Team USA history, adds a bronze to the board today. Some important context, though. Jessie Diggins, who is an icon in this event, came in really hurting. She has a serious rib injury. Painful, no doubt about it. She gutted it out and still makes the podium. You mentioned Jordan Stoltz. Wow, this is a big story of the games, and what a debut last night in the 1,000 meters. He has 3 more races. He broke an Olympic record in race number 1, so he could add a lot more gold to the board. And it's not far away from the snowboarding sensation Chloe Kim, racing in the snowboarding halfpipe. She is a back-to-back gold medalist in this event. Can she make it 3 in a row despite an injured shoulder? Pretty soon we're going to find out. So much happening today. I kind of want to talk about because there's so much going on. What do you want to hear more about first?
Well, Cheryl, we know that Breezy Johnson's run in the Super G didn't maybe go as she planned, but there was some bigger news after the fact, right?
Yeah, she's still very happy, and this will go down as one of the best days of her life. So she already won gold in the downhill, but when she got to the bottom of the race after the Super G, when she crashed out, she didn't get hurt, but she did not finish that race. But her boyfriend was waiting at the bottom, and he proposed to her with the team standing around and the crowd there, and they cheered. It was a really special moment. He said, listen, I see how hard you train. I see how hard you work. You still make time to make me feel special, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you. So some perspective, because races come and go, but they say that will be forever.
And then there's some mascots that we need to talk about.
Oh yeah, you know, I got to dig in the pile here for the plushies. You know, it's so fun because just like at sporting events, you know, they come around and they greet people. People love to take their pictures with Tina and Milo. But there's a superstore here that is a massive, like, temporary tent. People wait hours in line to be there, and some of the fastest selling items are these little plushie mascots. This is Milo, and his sister is Tina, and both of them are hugely popular. Not just to get pictures with, but people buying up these plushies really quickly. This one, by the way, is $60. So it'll cost you a little bit, but they are really fun. These little sibling mascot plushies that are flying off the shelves here at the Olympic Superstore. They're cute.
They're very cute.
Better than getting a shot glass. That will look better on a shelf.
Well, we know the pins are always popular too, stuff like that. All right, Cheryl, thank you very much.
They probably sell shot glasses.
I heard that,
I bet they do.
That very insincere,
what?
About the Breezy Johnson situation.
Hot take, and nobody cares my opinion.
Oh wow,
at all.
I want to know what's up here.
Nothing makes me more frustrated when men take a huge moment for a woman and propose to her. Like, that is her moment. Let her live. She fell. Let her take that in, kind of do her thing, and then propose to her somewhere else. You can have 2 different moments.
It's still her moment. She's getting engaged.
But now people are talking more about her moment of her getting engaged opposed
then crashing
to, like,
out?
Or
yeah, right?
Or anything she's done this past week. I see it for graduations and stuff. Like, let the woman have her moment. Propose to her, like, in 5 days or something. Okay.
Matthew, I don't know how old you are, but I know you're younger than I am quite a bit. And I will tell you, men just get stuff wrong.
We
All
just do.
the
Evidently.
time.
We just do.
All the time.
I didn't necessarily think it was.
But I liked your comment about you deflected away from the crash.
Right?
That was good. That was good.
Thank you for my TED Talk.
We have satellite radar for you. We're all dry. We're watching this little bitty strip of clouds coming in this morning. What it's doing is giving us a fantastic sunrise. Sunrise now underway on this Thursday morning. The clouds will continue to push off. We'll actually get some clearing later today, and Futurecast illustrates this better in what the satellite is. You can see at 2 o'clock this afternoon, here's the back edge of those mid to high level clouds. They're broken, moving up in the Cascades. The increasing sun replaces it this afternoon at the coast and the valley. Remember, today's the last completely dry day with no rain chance that we'll see for a while. Here's tomorrow morning. Looks like Portland will probably stay dry in the morning. Rain picks up at the coast. Here's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Now rain starting to move in. We've got rain going into the evening with a front coming through. This is 8 o'clock. Snow down to 4,000 feet, picking up late tomorrow in the Cascades. And then here's Valentine's Day. This is 6 p.m. Scattered showers absolutely in the morning. And I think this could be overdone a little bit, but there's certainly some hope that if you're going out to dinner for Valentine's tomorrow evening, that maybe there's some rain on the radar, but not a lot. Back to our pretty sunrise. Here it is from Timberline Lodge. Temperature up at the lodge is now 31 degrees. That's a blast shot there. And now we're looking at Mount Hood from the Oregon Veterans Home camera out in the Dalles, where winds of the gorge are light this morning and will stay that way today. 40 up in Seattle, 34 at Kelso, Salem, Portland a little bit warmer. The Dalles at 29, and over in Bend it's 28 degrees. Valley forecast numbers for you today. Morning cloudiness, the afternoon sun coming, 50-degree temperatures again, very mild. Most areas not expected to be as warm as yesterday. Portland made it to 58 yesterday. This shows Vancouver Battleground at 53 today with light winds, and I think PDX, Portland will get up to about 53 today, maybe 54. Then we've got the PM rain picking up tomorrow with the rain at times into the night. The scattered showers on Valentine's Day, a drier day than what I was thinking it would be. Sunday, there could be a shower, but it's looking like it's mainly dry. And then Monday afternoon kicks off a good 5, 6, 7 day run of each day getting some decent moisture with snow levels by midweek down to about 1,500 feet. Here's Chris.
Should be a busy week up in the mountains then, hopefully. All right, let's get you out the door. So far down low, no major trouble on this Thursday morning. We've been relatively unscathed here. We were a little slow a few minutes ago heading into West Lynn. Whatever was causing that hang up is cleared. Heading over to Wilsonville. There's your I-5 northbound traffic. That still looks pretty good. And last but not least, there's the Banfield, westbound I-84. Getting a little bit busier coming in from the Hollywood district, but not bad. 14 minutes right now. Your southbound I-5 drive. I got to say the Thursday morning commute times are in great shape right now. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Christine Padawanich. I'm a journalist at KGW, and I love exploring Portland's amazing food scene. New spot? I'm there. So I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still, it moves. It moves you to act, to vote, to volunteer, to speak up, or to lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the good stuff that stays with you wherever you are. And at KGW, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Portland.
Developing this morning, a pilot giving a thumbs up from the wreckage of his plane stuck in a tree about 50 feet up. That's after a crash landing seconds after takeoff yesterday afternoon on the coast near Wampart. Alan McCarty takes a closer look.
It happens so quickly.
Out on the Oregon coast,
Winds are usually pretty calm in the mornings here, and by early mid-afternoon they can pick up and get pretty strong.
Galen Gard explained how a beautiful day to fly took a turn for his friend.
I knew he was wanting to get out to the airport about noon, and I usually go out and meet him there, which we did again today, and Had no idea it was going to end up like this.
This being the lightweight aircraft 50 feet up in the trees.
He did the run-up taxi down to the end of the runway and took off, and a gust of wind caught him and call it a takeoff departure stall. He kind of went over, stalled off to the right, and ended up in the trees.
Within minutes, first responders were on scene at the Wakanda Beach airport, and the pilot, Guard says, had the cockpit open, talking to friends on the ground. Crews got him out unharmed after a couple of hours.
Just thankful that he's walked away from it once we got him out of the tree.
As for the plane, well, it's still up there. Guard's going to call someone to get it down and see what's salvageable.
Yeah. Bits and pieces, but the airframes, it's history.
That was Alma McCarty reporting. The FAA and NTSB are now handling the investigation.
Still to come on Sunrise, Olympic figure skater Ilya Malinin throwing his support behind the Lloyd ice rink. Coming up, Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz will join us with the latest on the fight to save the rink. Plus, speaking of Team USA, we are taking a look at some big brothers showing their sister on the women's hockey team some brotherly love. That's ahead as Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues right after this.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
I'm Trina Green, a morning anchor at KGW and new dog mom to this sweet guy. Meet Barry. I love getting your mornings off to a great start, whether it's sharing stories of resilience and triumph in our community, or following breaking news from Beaverton to Gresham and everywhere in between. We've got you covered, because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to KGW Sunrise, weekday mornings from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
We are coming up on 7:29 on your Thursday morning drive. Let's start off talking about the rails. TriMet actually reporting some delays right now on the Max orange and yellow lines because of an earlier mechanical issue. Delays up to 15 minutes, so be aware of that as you make your way out the door. The freeway drive this morning has not been bad at all. One slow spot I could find right now, we'll zoom in on it, up in the Kenton area. I-5 southbound moving along at about 20 miles an hour. That said, the drive from Clark County, not bad. 15 minutes gets you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Rod?
Yeah, 15 minutes is fantastic. Thank you, Chris. We have some passing clouds. They're thicker from this camera than they are so far over Portland. Chinook Winds Casino Resort in Lincoln City. Here's the rising sun with broken cloudiness here in the Rose Cities. We look from the Wells Fargo camera. Really pretty start to our day, 37 degrees. One more pretty camera. This is Elk Ridge Golf Course out in Carson in the Gorge. They have some frost on the grass, and you can see, though, broken cloudiness, which will be giving way to increasing cloudiness during the morning. So Passing clouds the first half of our day, 37 right now, 46 at noon. And then we'll break out into just a lot of sunshine this afternoon as the clouds move off. Rain develops tomorrow afternoon.
Good morning. We are taking a live look outside right now from our Vancouver waterfront sky cam. Absolutely stunning as the sun inches its way on this Thursday morning.
It doesn't even look real.
Is that more stunning than the other camera that you said was the most stunning sunrise you've seen? Because that looked pretty good.
I think it was the same camera, just it's
The other
progressing.
one was more angelic.
Okay.
That one's pretty, but the other
Stunning
one
on a
was just
different
like
level.
very angelic.
We had one from the Chehalem tasting room camera. It's been probably a couple months ago now that I saved.
Looked like a
unbelievable.
Oh.
We get really pretty sunrises,
We do.
and often you get them not when it's clear, but you have some broken mid to high level clouds, which is what we have out there this morning. Here's a look at our state capitol. Now, again, we're not looking toward the rising sun, so it's not as pretty, but still a beautiful morning. 34 degrees is the number. There is the rising sun just south of Mount Hood this morning from the top of the Wells Fargo building. 37 is the number out at PDX. Pretty good looking day moving forward. So we have this band of clouds slowly passing this morning. We'll be in the 40s at noon, a little bit cooler than it has been, but then eventually getting into the afternoon, those clouds will be off to our east and we'll open up blue skies. I have us up to about 53, 54 for a high and still 50 at 5 p.m. Sundown tonight at 5:33. Here's Chris.
Days are getting longer. You know, we're adding almost 3 minutes of daylight a day right now. All right, let's go ahead and get you back to the rails. TriMet reporting delays on the MAX orange and yellow lines because of an earlier mechanical issue, up to about 15 minutes. So just be aware of that as you make your way out the door if that is part of your morning commute. The freeway drive this morning has been really light. The drive times, I mean, they're coming up a little bit, but I don't have any major trouble out there just yet. We'll zoom in on I-5 through North Portland. There's your southbound commute. Up near Kenton, you can see the drive slowing a little bit, but not bad. 15 minutes gets you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Heads up at about 90 minutes in Clark County. WashDOT's going to start some guardrail repair on I-5 in the Richfield area. One lane of southbound I-5 will be blocked off here between, well, basically for about 2 miles. So a little bit later on this morning, that'll create some southbound delays. But China, so far, we're in pretty good shape.
Thank you, Chris. An investigation is underway after authorities pulled a man's body from the Columbia River. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office says the body was found around 1:30 yesterday afternoon near the Camas power lines. The medical examiner will work to ID the man and to determine how he died.
In Clackamas County, a corrections officer is in jail accused of sexual misconduct, and police say there may be other victims. Paul Schultz is accused of having sexual contact with a corrections client at the Center for Substance Abuse Prevention in Milwaukee. Anyone with information on other potential victims should reach out to the Milwaukee police. And if you or someone you know is a survivor of sexual assault, know that help is always available. You can get support 24/7 by calling the National Sexual Assault Hotline at the number on your screen, 800-656-4673.
A Portland City Council passed an ordinance requiring all user gender-neutral signs on single-stall public restrooms. Supporters say the change expands access for parents, older adults, people with caregivers, and the LGBTQ+ community. Businesses won't need to remodel. The city will provide signs that can be posted. Council leaders say this simple update reflects Portland's values of inclusion and safety.
This morning, several Olympians making waves here in the Rose City, and earlier this morning, Jackie Wiles competed in what could be her last Olympic event. And now the quad god Ilya Malinin is throwing his support behind the beloved Portland ice rink slated for demolition.
Our Sunrise reporters are teaming up to cover all of these stories. Corey Johnson will join us in just a minute with the latest on our local Olympians. But first, Thomas, what's the latest in the fight for the Lloyd Center?
Yeah, well, guys, skaters of all ages gathered 900 signatures and took them to City Hall to express to Mayor Keith Wilson just what the Lloyd Center means for them.
We want to give these to the mayor to hope that it will give a good impression to help save our ice rink at Lloyd Center Mall.
Oh, thank you. The rink has provided such a wonderful family of skaters, and they care for each other.
Skaters have enjoyed the Lloyd Ice Rink since it opened back in 1960, but more than 65 years later, it is slated to close. Though some skaters are refusing to go down without a fight.
If you were to assume that it doesn't matter as much, then you might actually be breaking some people's hearts. and I'd definitely be one of them.
And their fight has gone international. In Italy, U.S. Olympian Valentine shared this post supporting the Save Lloyd Ice Coalition. Back at the Lloyd Center, families understand, look, change is inevitable, though they say a place like this is one they'd never get back.
I know we can come to a compromise if they'll open themselves up to talking with us.
In a statement, Urban Renaissance Group, which owns the Lloyd Center, told us, quote, "We appreciate the skating community that uses the Lloyd Center ice rink, but the mall today is no longer economically sustainable, which sadly includes the operation and maintenance of the rink. Our future vision includes seasonal outdoor skating that we hope one day a new generation of Portlanders can enjoy." We reached out to Mayor Keith Wilson about this as well. A spokesperson told us, though, at this time, Mayor Wilson is not commenting. Guys.
All right, Thomas Schultz reporting live. Thank you, Thomas. All right, we want to check in with Corey Johnson now on our local Olympians and how they're doing.
Yeah, Corey Johnson in studio this morning with an update on how the local athletes are doing.
Yeah, we did have a few compete very early this morning, overnight while we were sleeping. And today's Women's Super G was the last speed event on the calendar for the Milan Cortina Olympics. Now, there'll be no medal for Team USA on the tough course. Jackie Wiles, a Canby High School graduate, was the last U.S. skier to go in the Super G, placing 13th overall. Now, keep in mind the Super G is shorter than the downhill and with more gates, but has faster speeds than the giant slalom. Wiles claimed bronze in the women's Olympic team combined event in Cortina after a strong downhill run. Now to Portland native Alessandro Barbieri, the 17-year-old really made a splash in his first Olympic run on Wednesday, delivering in his debut, scoring an 88.50 on his first run, finishing 4th overall and qualifying for the finals. His family is originally from Milan as well, so there's a fun fact. And snowboarders we spoke with on Mount Hood thought it was pretty incredible that he trained for the Olympics right here.
I'm stoked because I ski the same things here, and the fact that he's out over there doing something that I wish I could, it's amazing. I'm stoked to watch it on TV.
And we also have to wait just one more day to see if he can get on the medal stand. The halfpipe finals are set for this Friday. Matthew?
We will certainly be watching. Thank you, Corey. And speaking of Team USA, tomorrow the women's hockey team will compete in the quarterfinal after they beat Team Canada on Wednesday.
And cheering them on, player Haley Wynn's big brothers, who have been stealing the show with their fashion, cheers, and gold medal support. NBC's Tom Yamas reports.
You could say they're winning the Olympics. Ryan, Casey, and Tommy Wynn, big brothers to Team USA hockey star Haley Wynn.
7 minutes and she got her first Olympic gold.
Now, fan favorites for their bold fashion choices. I went looking for the brothers, finding them down a random alley in Milan, treating the streets of this fashion capital as their own personal catwalk.
How do you guys figure out the outfits?
It's been quite a bit of planning, actually. We're keeping it classy today, as you can see, with the Peaky Blinders kind of vibe.
They say they've been Haley's biggest fans since day one.
Tommy, do you remember playing hockey with her growing up?
Yeah, I started on the backyard rink that our dad built for us. Haley was just a little tyke, skating around, pushing a bucket around, literally before she could even walk.
Go, girl! There you go! Come and get me!
Those are the days we all remember. That's where all of our love for the game grew.
And you guys really would cross-check her? Even though she's your little sister?
It was rough out there.
There's actually a video of me pushing her over the boards into a pile of snow.
Oh! Now, they're ready to do their small part to help Team USA win gold.
I mean, we want to make it as difficult as possible to play against the USA. If it means attracting some attention, you know what I mean, getting loud, causing a ruckus, then I guess that's what we're going to do.
And showing me, anytime, any place, you know they're representing.
USA! USA! USA!
I love this so much.
We're a riot.
Love the video, checking her over the board. Hey, it builds character.
Yeah.
And now she's way better than them.
Yeah, right?
That happens.
Awesome.
Well, it's just a dismal world for men, really, isn't it? We have our live camera from the Chehalem Tasting Room camera out in Sherwood. You can see the rising sun right there. Pretty morning. This is mid to high level broken cloudiness, 35 degrees. This cloud band is pushing eastward, and it will eventually clear us. and we'll get back to more of a blue sky this afternoon. It's a pretty morning, no doubt. That is some frost on the grass out in Washington County at the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club in Aloha. Temperature report is 33 degrees. Most of us are holding above freezing. Happy Valley 37, Tigers at 34, close to 32. Salem also sharing that 34 degree temperature. 35 is the number down in Corvallis. Scout is our KGW pet of the day. Use the email address petoftheday@kgw.com. Send us your photos and we will feature your pet on the show. There's Scout this morning. Good morning. All right, it is a dry Thursday across our area. Again, we have some cloudiness this morning, increasing sun this afternoon and 50s here on the west side. Flip-flop that for you folks out in eastern Oregon. Morning sun giving way to increasing clouds as you get that same cloud band. Still a pretty nice day, 50 degrees out in the Grand. Winds are generally light across the region, all areas this morning. 7-day forecast, 53 today. Yesterday was 58, so we're going to be at least a little bit cooler. Tomorrow we have probably a dry morning in Portland, and then the rain picks up in the afternoon into the evening. And now it looks like it's scattered showers on Valentine's Day, and maybe not that wet. If you're going out Saturday night, maybe a lot more dry than wet, and Sunday potentially is a mainly dry day. So all of a sudden, I'm feeling romantic, and I'm improving the Valentine's Day weekend forecast. Chris?
Showering us with love, Rodney. Thank you very much. We start off with some trouble on the rails right now. TriMet reporting some delays on the Max orange and yellow lines because of an earlier mechanical issue in southwest Portland. So again, delays up to 15 minutes, yellow and orange line for the next little while. We'll keep you posted on that. We had an earlier report of a crash on the Sunset inbound just past Sylvan. It looks like that has cleared, but traffic running a little thick coming down the hill there from Skyline Boulevard into the tunnel. That said, 21 minutes from Hillsborough to downtown is not bad for this hour of a Thursday morning. I-5 southbound through North Portland, that's a little thick. Right now you're looking at about 17 minutes to get you in from Main Street. And starting in a little over an hour, washed out doing some road work on I-5 southbound up in the Ridgefield area. We'll be down a lane. The left lane will be blocked here for about 2 miles in the vicinity of the Ridgefield on-ramp as they do some guardrail repair. That'll likely create some southbound delays there a bit later on this morning. Guys.
Thank you, Chris. If you haven't gotten your gifts for Valentine's Day, you are running out of time. Coming up, we're looking at some ways that you can save money on that pretty bouquet of flowers. Sunrise continues after this.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Valentine's Day is just around the corner. The National Retail Federation expects Americans will spend a record $29 billion for that special someone. No pressure, But experts say shoppers are budgeting nearly $200 for gifts, including gifts for romantic partners, family members, children's classmates, as well as teachers, coworkers, and pets. Candy remains the most popular Valentine's Day gift, followed by flowers, cards, a night out, and jewelry.
That's a lot of money for a Hallmark holiday. I don't know. It's just after Christmas. Whew. Hey, if flowers are on your list this Valentine's Day, there are ways that you can save money and stay within your budget.
And as Marie Colonel reports, it starts with keeping your options open.
The hustle and bustle of flower shops go hand in hand with Valentine's Day. As orders come in, more shoppers stroll by coolers checking out the different kinds of arrangements. And while shops are busy, it doesn't mean you can't find a good deal.
In 2026, budget is the main word that everyone has on their minds. Things are getting more expensive.
According to the National Retail Federation, consumer spending on Valentine's Day is expected to reach $29.1 billion, which is up compared to the $27.5 billion spent in 2025. Experts believe this year people are expanding their gift lists, buying for friends and coworkers. When it comes to costs, this year a dozen roses is expected to cost between $70 and $110, depending on size and color.
Really a romantic color is red and pink.
We checked in with Christian Ferretti, who is the assistant manager at Wholesale Flowers. He says despite tariff impacts, they were able to keep their prices comparable to previous years.
This is $17.95.
They get their flowers directly from growers. Many are from San Diego.
We actually negotiated a year ago to get the prices now, which saved us because right now for 2 dozen you're looking at a starting price of $18.95, which is really, really good. The pinks are going to be a little more expensive at $20.95, and the reds, that's where they really go up every year. It's unavoidable.
If you're looking to go a cheaper route, Christian says check out a wholesale flower shop because you can make your own bouquet by choosing different types of flowers based on your budget. All you need is a main flower, filler flower, and some greenery.
You want to see what's the biggest flower that you can get that'll take up the most room. But at the same time, it's really up to personal taste.
But if you don't want to arrange it yourself, you can always pay for extra help without buying an expensive arrangement. Tom Cedavong is a design department manager. He says check with your florist to see what options are available and be upfront about how much you want to spend.
You come in and select the flowers by the bunches and we do a wrap for you. You get them at wholesale cost with a small little fee attached to it. We usually work with people's budget depending on what they're looking for.
And the last piece of advice, don't wait until the last minute because you won't have much selection left to choose from.
All right, so flowers are nice and all, but we want to know what you really want for Valentine's Day.
Do you want a new sweater, pizza, break from the kids?
Break from your spouse.
I would love a pizza.
That sounds like a divorce in the making.
Somebody wants to send me a pizza.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
You can text us all of that, any of those answers, and we will share them throughout the morning tomorrow on Valentine's Eve on Sunrise. Be sure to include your name and where you're from. I have a tip.
I have one too. I'll let you go first.
Okay. Boys, go to like Safeway, Fred Meyer, and get the flowers that are the cheaper flowers, the ones that are in like the plastic.
See,
they're cheaper. Hold on. And then you go to like the flower lady and you ask her if she could take it out of the plastic and wrap it in like a nice paper with a pretty bow, and so it looks more expensive.
That's fair. What I was gonna say is if you have a significant other that has a green thumb, don't get flowers, get a plant, like something that will stay alive that you can care for, that they can have for a long time versus like we were talking about, some flowers that are gonna die in 5 days.
Roses have just gotten so expensive. And
yeah, they are. It's just
maybe
crazy.
you get lucky in the last 5 days, maybe you don't.
But like there's pink and red flower and stuff out there that you can get that fits the Valentine's Day, that, you know, a plant that will stay alive.
If my husband gets me a plant, it has to be something that I can put in a closet for 5 months and
it'll still be alive.
then water it and it'll still be alive.
Yeah.
One of those.
Okay.
I like the pizza idea.
Me too.
At least for Father's Day.
We'll send each other some pizzas, Rod.
There you go. That's a deal. Timberline Lodge, blue up there right now. The mid to high level cloud DAC is going to be increasing over the Cascades, but a pretty morning up there right now. 31 is the number. We are looking at snow, and the forecast for snow is still, I think, the overwhelming #1 headline if you look out over the next week or two. So not much this weekend. We never thought we'd get this much this weekend. We will see snow pick up the back half of tomorrow into tomorrow night. But all total through Sunday, this is showing 4, 5, 6 inches near pass level to about 5,000 feet. And that's probably a pretty good number. Here's a look, though, of what happens really picking up Monday afternoon all the way through Friday of next week, the 20th. And this is back up to showing Mount Hood near pass level. Could get about 30 inches of snow, which would be just a good old-fashioned snowy week up on Mount Hood. And it still looks like midweek Wednesday, we could have snow levels closer to like 1,500 feet. So real promising stuff for snow up in the Cascades next week. Now for today, here's that band of clouds. It's broken. If you look outside, you can see that. The mid to high level clouds, and they'll be moving off. Futurecast shows it really well. Here we are at 2 o'clock. Clouds move off to the east. We get the clear blue skies returning here on the west side. Here's tomorrow morning. Shower chance at the coast, but Portland has a good chance of just being dry tomorrow morning. Around 2 o'clock, or maybe even a little bit after, we see the rain coming in. This breaks it up somewhat, but gives us likely rain in the area with mountain snow falling Friday evening overnight. And then Valentine's Day scattered showers come up from south to north. The latest model runs are kind of backing off. So maybe Saturday night, if you're out and about, Valentine's, there's some rain on the radar, but maybe not a whole lot. And in fact, weather models are back down now to saying coast and valley, generally 1/4 to about 1/2 of an inch of total rain for the Friday, Saturday, and generally dry weather expected on Sunday. Here is one of our pretty cameras this morning from the Vancouver that springs at the waterfront. You see the rising sun there with the broken cloud deck. 32 degrees out at Pearson. Temperatures outside right now in the 30s, 31 down in Eugene. Freezing in the Dalles at 29, 22 out in Baker City. 7-day forecast numbers. Nice day overall. We're dry. We get increasing sun this afternoon. We'll be up into the 50s. Tomorrow the afternoon rain comes in. The scattered showers on Saturday, a mainly dry Sunday. And then we get into first of many systems next week, Monday afternoon. Here's Chris McGinnis.
It'll be a busy week next week. All right, let's get you out the door. We'll start off with where do we want to go? Spin the traffic wheel. We'll go over to the east side. I-84 westbound traffic getting a little bit busy coming out of the Hollywood district towards the I-5 split. But again, the drive times have been pretty kind to us thus far this morning. 23 minutes right now gets you in from Troutdale. 22 minutes the eastbound drive on the Sunset from Hillsborough. Here's one of our slower patches of freeway right now. I-5 southbound in North Portland up near Columbia Boulevard. Right now the drive-in from Clark County, about 18 minutes or so to get you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. A reminder, we've been talking about this for a little while now. TriMet reporting some delays on the Max Yellow and Orange line because of an earlier mechanical issue in Southwest Portland. Those delays upwards of about 15 minutes. Matthew, back to you.
Thank you, Chris.
It's our streets, it's our city, it's our Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So we're here to show out.
And show out they did. Seahawks fans across the Northwest still buzzing about the historic Super Bowl win. In the streets of Seattle packed for the championship parade. We'll take a look at the sights and sounds after the break.
I'm David Mulco, the evening anchor at KGW. Though when I'm not working, I like to spend as much time as possible out here in nature. So I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. You see, what happens here affects us all. And that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still, it moves. It moves you to act, to vote, to volunteer, to talk about it, to speak up, or to lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at KGW, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Portland.
Southeast Portland's Leach Botanical Garden is reportedly laying off half its staff and slashing educational programs after the city ended its annual subsidy. That's according to the Oregonian. The garden, which is a popular spring destination for everything from Mother's Day visits to school field trips, served tens of thousands of people last year. The nonprofit reportedly could shut down without new funding. And hundreds of thousands of people packed the streets of Seattle yesterday for the Seahawks championship parade. The team celebrating the franchise's first Super Bowl victory since 2014 and just the second in Seahawks franchise history. The party started at Lumen Field and then took the Lombardi Trophy for a ride around the city.
We had one goal, and that was to bring this home. And that's what we did to the best fans in the world. This is for y'all.
And there were an estimated 50,000 people just in the stadium. The next time it's filled up will be in the fall when they raise the championship banner.
Students young and old traded hallways for the Seattle streets for what could be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Here's what some of the parents of these school skippers had to say.
How many kids do you think skipped school today?
Oh, I think all of them.
My decision, yes, as the mom.
Who made the final call? Was it you or mom?
Mom was sleeping.
Who let the kids come to the parade?
I mean, I guess it would be me, yeah. It's just like, who knows when it's going to happen again.
And coming up at 8, KGW Sunrise continues live on KGW Plus with Portland celebrating Black History Month.
And some of the events that you can look out for to celebrate. I'm Matthew Herchick, new morning anchor at KGW. I'm a huge sports fan, and I know I might be from the Buckeye State, but I'm excited to explore what the Rose City has to offer. I want to make sure you're prepared for the day, whether it's bringing you breaking news or sharing those inspirational stories that make you smile. We've got you covered. Because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to Portland's #1 streaming newscast, Sunrise, weekday mornings from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Coming up on 7:59 on your Thursday morning drive, if your commute is on the rails, know this. TriMet right now reporting up to 15-minute delays on the Max Orange and Yellow lines because of some earlier mechanical issues in downtown. Meanwhile, our freeway drive this morning, it's certainly getting busier here over the last 15 minutes. The slowest stretch of Portland freeway is this. I-5 up near Columbia Boulevard, that southbound drive. Slow and go coming in from Clark County. We're up to almost 20 minutes to get you in from Main Street. to the Fremont Bridge. Rod?
All right, Chris, thanks for that. We are all dry. We're just looking at this broken mid to high level cloud deck that's currently moving east to west, or west to east, pardon me, toward the mountains, the Cascades. Here's the reserve vineyards golf club below. There's been a little bit of frost on the grass there. And then if you go to the east side, here's Persimmon Golf Club up in elevation in Gresham. You can see the rising sun. Pretty good shot of the cloud deck. Notice the clouds are above Mount Hood. Temperatures 38 right now. PDX will be 46 at noon. We'll get into increasing sun this afternoon as the cloud deck continues to move off to our east. Rain comes in tomorrow afternoon.
After the city found more than $100 million in unspent housing funds, we spoke to a couple of homeless men who says that money could really help them. We'll share their stories next.
Plus, a Northwest Portland school is closing, and its students now have to figure out where to go. The plan for kids at the Metropolitan Learning Center.
And how do Olympians do it? The work athletes at the highest level of competition put in to make it to the Olympic stage.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 8 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Matthew Herchick. Happy Thursday, everyone. Rod Hill and Chris McGinnis standing by with a look at weather and traffic. Good morning, Rod.
Hey, good morning. Nice day underway. We are dry again. And again, this afternoon, you'll be outside thinking, hey, this feels pretty good because temps will be back up into the 50s. We have a passing band of cloud cover up top right now. It's broken. It's kind of partly sunny overall. 35 is the number down in Salem. We've seen some frosty spots this morning, but no fog being reported. And there's the rising sun of that broken cloud deck that's, again, continuing to push off to the east. We're at 38 right now. So our planner today, the partly sunny conditions this morning, 46 at noon. Still relatively cool. And then the clouds will be off to our east and we'll have sunny blue skies reemerge. I've got us 53, 54 for a high and back down to 50 at 5 p.m. Here's Chris.
Rodney, thank you for that. Heads up, TriMet riders of the Max Orange and Yellow lines. Delays up to 15 minutes expected for the next little while. This all because of an earlier mechanical issue in downtown Portland. Back to the freeway drive. It is getting busier now in the 8 o'clock hour. The drive times reflect that 18 minutes on your I-5 South commute from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. A little slow right now, especially through North Portland from about Delta Park down to Lombard. Continuing up in Clark County, in about an hour, WashDOT's going to be doing some road work on I-5 southbound in the Ridgefield area. So one left lane will be blocked here southbound for about 2 miles as they do that guardrail repair work. Obviously, that'll create some delays in that time frame. For now, the drive on the Oregon side, getting busier, but not bad. It's just, 25 minutes right now, your westbound commute from Troutdale to downtown. China?
Thank you, Chris. An update just into the newsroom. A months-long immigration enforcement crackdown in Minneapolis is coming to an end. White House reporter Tom Homan announced the end of Operation Metro Surge during a press conference this morning. It comes after widespread outage and the deaths of 2 U.S. citizens during the protests tied to the operation. At its peak, it brought out about 3,000 immigration officers into the area. The Department of Homeland Security says that thousands of undocumented immigrants were arrested during the operation.
And an update to a homicide investigation in Portland. Police have now released the cause of death for Jamal Rogers, whose body was recovered from Johnson Creek near one of the Springwater Trail crossings in December. We now know his cause of death was a gunshot. No arrest.
It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up.
People living on the streets in Portland are speaking out after the city discovered tens of millions of dollars in unspent funds. The money was found in Portland's Housing Bureau's budget.
And the city says it was recently discovered after it hadn't been properly tracked or budgeted. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us from Northeast Portland. Thomas, what else did the homeless community have to say about this?
Yeah, guys, we spoke to 2 men who are trying to claw their way out of homelessness, and they both say that a little bit more government assistance would go a long way. One of those men is named Jeff. We spoke to him yesterday. He and his son were evicted from their apartment after losing government assistance. Jeff can't walk on his own, and his son is diabetic, requiring life-saving medication. He says finding housing has been really challenging.
Best Multnomah County will give us is a single-man tent and a sleeping bag. Tell us to go sleep on the streets.
On the Central East Side, we met another man who has been living in a shelter for 8 months. Caleb Moyer is working and also going to school. Still, housing remains out of reach.
Every time I go back there and talk to the case manager, I just feel like that they're not really doing their job. I just feel like that I'm not really getting helped.
Both say they could really use more help from the city, though as for that $100 million plus in unspent housing funds, the city says it can't go out immediately. It needs to be budgeted first, and some of the money can only be used for certain things. We're told around $20 million could be used to help people pay rent. City Council is currently considering 2 pieces of legislation to do just that, but those plans must be formally approved through the city's budget process, and that can take months. Addressing housing and homelessness has been the main priority for Mayor Keith Wilson. When hearing about Caleb and Jeff's stories, he told us in a statement that this underscores the urgent need to provide a safe shelter for every Portlander. Matthew, China.
Thomas Schultz reporting live. Thomas, thank you. Students at a small alternative high school in Northwest Portland are scrambling to figure out where they'll go after learning that their high school program is shutting down.
Portland's Metropolitan Learning Center is an alternative school serving students from kindergarten through 12th grade. It will end its high school program after this school year. The district says the closure is due to low enrollment and is offering one-on-one counseling to help students find new schools. Well, developing this morning, lawmakers are considering a bill that could potentially steer public money towards a $600 million renovation of the Moda Center.
The upgrades are a key piece of the Blazers' long-term future here in Portland. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson in studio with more on that meeting, what city leaders are saying about that investment.
Yeah, Matthew, China, it was a public hearing for Senate Bill 1501, which could help bankroll major renovations at the Moda Center. Now, the arena brings in roughly $670 million to the regional economy every single year and employs thousands of people. Now, Wednesday was the bill's first public hearing in the Oregon Senate. It would create a framework for shared ownership of the arena between the state and the city of Portland, with funding for renovations tied to taxes on players, performers, and nearby businesses. Now, the city would also plan to make a pretty hefty investment, including $120 million for the renovations, as well as operating expenses. The mayor says they're committing to over a 20-year period. Well, some like Stephen Wright with Tax Fairness Oregon opposed the bill during that hearing on Wednesday, saying taxpayers are footing the bill.
The risk of losing the Blazers far outweighs the cost it's going to take to just bring this stadium up to state-of-the-art fashion.
Thus, Oregonians, especially the poor, will be paying for what should otherwise be the owner's financial responsibility.
Now, the timeline on the city's investment is still unknown, as the bill would first need to begin to move forward. The bill will be discussed again in a work session on February 16th. Matthew.
Corey Johnson live in studio this morning. Corey, thank you. And speaking of the Moda Center, the Blazers, they weren't there last night. Instead, they were in Minnesota to take on the Timberwolves. The Blazers headed into the game with a 3-game winning streak, but that all came to a halt when the Blazers fell 133 to 109. The Timberwolves scored 43 points off of 26 Blazers turnovers. But the Blazers do have a chance to rebound tonight when they take on the Jazz in Salt Lake City. Right now, Utah is one of the worst teams in the West, sitting with a record of just 18-37. The Blazers still sitting in 10th place in the West, holding on to that last play-in spot.
And the WNBA preseason schedule has been set. The Portland Fire will open the preseason against Seattle at Climate Pledge Arena on April 29th. The second preseason game is at the Moda Center against the LA Sparks on May 3rd, and it all ends to the Fire's inaugural season opener in Portland on May 9th. Speaking of schedules, a date is set for Oregon's annual spring football game. The Ducks will be back on the field at Autzen Stadium on April 25th. Kickoff is set for 1 p.m. and it's free to get in.
And the Beavers have already dropped their schedule for next season. They open the season on the road against Houston on September 5th. Their home opener a week later against Texas Tech. In total, the Beavers will play 6 games at home. Their final game of the season is on November 28th. It'll be a flex game based on the best interests of the league, including the college football playoff.
February is Black History Month, and events are already underway around Portland. Kicking off tomorrow is the Black History Month Legacy Music Showcase and remembering Grace Collins at Alberta Alley. February 19th, a tribute to the legendary music of Bob Marley at the Arlene Schnitzer Concert Hall. February 21st, the 3rd annual African Heritage and Black History Festival. And happening all next week from the 16th to the 22nd is the Northwest Black Comedy Festival at Curious Comedy Theater. For details on those events and others happening this month, you can head to dopdx.com.
It is 8:09 and time to get over to Rod for a look at the forecast.
Hey, good morning. Another dry day and another day where this afternoon temperatures will get up into the 50s. Wow. Here's a look at Seaside, our live camera. The tide coming in. You see the cloudiness. Do we have a surfer? I thought I saw somebody in the water right over there. 36 degrees is the number. This is a cloud deck that's pushing inland and will continue to move off to our east during the day. So broken, partly sunny skies this morning. Will be more in the way of mostly sunny this afternoon. There's a rising sun from our Vancouver the Springs at the waterfront camera. Glassy water out along the Columbia, 34 degrees. Winds are light, including in the gorge at all elevations this morning. So really a very, very pleasant day coming. You folks in Troutdale, 35 degrees. Cooler than you've been because the winds have faded away. So notice you're the same temperature as Beaverton, 35. The east side, of course, has been a little bit warmer most nights and mornings because of the east winds. 39 in Silverton right now. It's freezing out in McMinnville. 32 is your number. Here's the dry map this afternoon. This will turn into mostly sunny skies. Coast and Valley will be back up into the 50s. Generally not as warm as yesterday. PDX put 58 in the record book yesterday. We've got 46 in Baker City, 50 out in LeGrand at 4 p.m. with increasing cloudiness on that side of the state this afternoon. Here's our 7-day. The rain looks like it holds off until afternoon tomorrow in Portland, maybe until 2 o'clock or after, in fact. And then we've got likely rain times Friday overnight, showers on Saturday, Valentine's Day, a mainly dry Sunday. There's still some data that shows there could be some showers in the area. And then we really get going with an active weather pattern starting Monday afternoon, the first of several fronts to bring valley rain and pretty good Cascade snow. That's coming up next week, guys.
That's exciting stuff up at the ski resorts. All right, let's get you down to Wilsonville, and more precisely, the drive northbound from Charbonneau to Wilsonville. Something was hanging up the commute here a few minutes ago near the Boone Bridge. Whatever it was appears to have cleared, but still northbound from Art Road to Wilsonville is about 35 miles an hour. Speeds do pick up here as you hit Wilsonville Road. And there's what it looks like through the Twilliger curves, a little bit of local slowing there as well. All right, door number 1 takes us over to the Banfield, slow and steady coming in through the Hollywood district. And I think, let's see, we've already showed you Wilsonville. Let's take you over to the west side. Just a quick look at the sunset, staring at the filtered sunshine out there this morning. It's not quite as bad as having the brilliant sun blasting you right in the face. So maybe that's why the drive time's a little bit better now than it was yesterday. 23 minutes gets you in from Hillsborough to downtown. Matthew?
Thank you very much, Chris. Well, this is hopefully one piece of hardware that she won't break. Breezy Johnson is walking away from the Olympics as more than just a gold medalist.
Investigators are following some new leads in Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. I'm Alice Barr, tracking the developments from Washington. I'll have the latest details coming up.
I'm Matthew Herchick, new morning anchor at KGW. I'm a huge sports fan, and I know I might be from the Buckeye State, but I'm excited to explore what the Rose City has to offer. I want to make sure you're prepared for the day, whether it's bringing you breaking news or sharing those inspirational stories that make you smile. We've got you covered. Because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to Portland's #1 streaming newscast, Sunrise, weekday mornings from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
So we're just under a week into the Winter Olympics, but we've already seen athletes doing spectacular, sometimes dangerous things in pursuit of gold.
Yeah, Olympians are always pushing themselves to the physical, mental, and emotional limits. And now the University of Oregon is researching everything from athletes' core temperature to endurance. The U of O is one of just 3 IOC-sanctioned Olympic studies hubs. They say one of the universal challenges for winter athletes is staying hydrated.
So there's been a huge increase in science-based approaches to manage these type of problems like the dehydration or the temperature regulation issues that may come up, as well as just being smarter about warm-up routines and those types of things.
It all adds up to what we see at home. Olympic athletes competing to extraordinary limits in their best to be the best in the world.
I mean, we got this far and we finally got a gold medal. We've trained really hard and tried to do the best we could.
A gold medal and Olympic record for Team USA's Jordan Stolz. The 21-year-old speed skater won the men's 1,000 meter by the largest margin of victory on the Olympic level since 1984. He won with a time of 1 minute and 6.28 seconds, beating the 2002 Olympic record of 1 minute and 7.18 seconds. That's not all for Stolz. He's hoping to win another gold in the men's 500 on Saturday.
And women's downhill gold medalist Breezy Johnson got some more hardware today after crashing in the Super G competition, an engagement ring. Johnson's longtime boyfriend, Connor Watkins, proposed to her near the finish line as members of the U.S. ski team looked on. She said yes. All of this happened about an hour after Johnson crashed hard into the safety netting during the Super G event.
The medal count is brought to you on KGW by On Point Community Credit Union.
And the United States now tied with Norway for the second most gold medals. I guess we are in the lead, though, with diamond rings, though, so we'll take that, right? The U.S. has 13 total medals. Italy's on top with 14, followed by Austria and Japan. Do you want to go on your soapbox again? Or
nope.
We're good?
No,
okay.
we're good.
All right. I just wanted to make sure.
I always like to see the home host country having a good Olympics. You saw Italy in the lead right there. So
yeah.
Good for them. It's nice to see the host.
But we want
them to finish second. Want them to do well, but not better than us, Rod.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, America.
It's America.
It's America.
Let's get some more medals. Let's do it. All right. Here's a look at our snow potential map for next week. This is still great news that has not changed. We have a little bit of snow coming this weekend, not much. It picks up down to about pass level tomorrow afternoon into the night. This shows all total, and most of this is what will come Monday afternoon through Friday of next week, Friday at 5 p.m., about 30 inches to come to Mount Hood. And again, snow levels with systems literally coming and going every single day next week, starting Monday afternoon, will be at pass level or below. And it looks like snow levels could be 1,500 to about 2,000 feet going into Wednesday and Thursday of next week. So it's a big pattern change, and definitely exactly what we needed to at least jumpstart our snowpack. And keep in mind, the bases of Meadows and Timberline are only around 30 inches right now. So if we could get another 30 inches, we'd be doubling what we have on the mountain currently. How about that? All right, here's that passing cloud band, a little bit of a closer look. These are broken mid to high level clouds that continue to move off to our east. Models like us being partly sunny this morning, then opening up more of a mostly sunny afternoon. What you're looking at here on the west side is the clouds do the opposite and, of course, increase moving off to the east later today. But everybody stays dry. And really, there's no wind anywhere to report, anywhere, period. Here's a look at tomorrow morning. A dry start for Portland, a shower threat in the morning along the coast. Looks like most of the data agrees that Portland gets through the noon hour all dry tomorrow. Then at some point in the afternoon from 2 o'clock or maybe a little bit later than 2 o'clock, the rain picks up, moves in. It'll be fairly wet going into the evening. Here we are at 8 p.m. There's the snow in blue over the Cascades. Maybe we get 4, 5, 6 inches of total snow over the weekend up in the mountains. And then you saw coming up from the south, scattered showers on Valentine's Day. This may be a little underdone. I believe there certainly will be some scattered showers going into Saturday evening. Sunday looks like a day that potentially is dry, or at least mostly dry. Rain amounts, coast, these are the latest updates from the modeling, anywhere from 1/4 to about 1/2 inch of rain. Both coast and valley expected over the weekend. Again, most of that is what's going to come in tomorrow afternoon into Saturday morning. All right, we've got one. We're riding on the right side of your TV screen. Oh, yeah. Woo! Okay. Right. Still going. There's one. Oh, now we're down. I love our surf cam. Been in the business 38 years. I've never had a surf camera. It's pretty cool. That's Seaside Live, 36 degrees outside at the coast. Whoa, the iris, I guess, is kind of washed out all of a sudden. This is the story column camera. It was showing you a really nice look at the cloud deck up top. There's fairly bright skies over Salem right now, 35, but again, mid to high level clouds are broken across the area. Portland's at 38. We have some freezing spots around. The Dow's at 31. Here come the 7-day forecast numbers. Increasing afternoon sun, 53. The afternoon to evening rain moving in tomorrow. The scattered showers on Valentine's Day and a mainly dry Sunday. All right. Top my surf camera, Chris.
I can't. But do we need to start Shark Week with the surf camera look as well? That'd be really intriguing. All right, let's go ahead and pick it up south of town right now in West Lynn, I-205 southbound, coming off the Abernathy Bridge. A little slow. No reports of any crashes or anything like this, but right now we're puttering along there at about 16 miles an hour. The drive southbound from Clackamas to Tualatin up to about 18 minutes, so a little slow, but not bad. I-5 rolling through the Terwilliger curves right there. Northbound got some slowing. And through North Portland, that's I-5 up near the Expo Center. That too running a little thick. At last check, you're tripping from Hillsborough, 22 minutes from Brookwood Parkway to downtown. Matthew.
Chris, thank you. A community coming together after a deadly shooting at a school. The latest details being released by police.
Hi, I'm Christine Padawanich. I'm a journalist at KGW, and I love exploring Portland's amazing food scene. New spot? I'm there. So I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still, it moves. It moves you to act, to vote, to volunteer, to speak up, or to lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the good stuff that stays with you wherever you are. And at KGW, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Portland.
The search for Nancy Guthrie continues as investigators wade through more than 4,000 new calls and tips. Those tips coming after authorities released video showing a person of interest in the case. And now law enforcement has expanded the search into the Catalina foothills after finding what could be the gloves worn by the man seen in that video. NBC's Alice Barr has those details.
Investigators tracking new leads this morning in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, with our Tucson affiliate KVOA reporting that authorities found a pair of black gloves as they expand their search and have sent them in for DNA analysis. KVOA also reporting investigators are asking neighbors in the Catalina foothills to check their doorbell cameras for footage from January 11th between 9 p.m. and midnight. That's 3 weeks before Guthrie went missing, and from the morning of January 31st, 9:30 to 11. The community on edge, worried especially for older neighbors.
The thought of this happening to any of them is scary and sad. And yeah, I hope she comes back home so we can all feel safe again and so that her family can be happy.
Today Show co-anchor Savannah Guthrie and her siblings have called for the public's help to bring their mother home. And the Pima County Sheriff's Department says they've received 18,000 calls since Nancy's February 1st disappearance, with a surge after the FBI released this recovered video of someone tampering with her doorbell camera. Following one lead, Pima County investigators detained and then released a man on Tuesday and searched a property in southern Arizona. Authorities have not identified who they detained or why, but this man, Carlos Palazuelos, says it was him and he's innocent, noting investigators showed a relative photos of a masked man.
And they supposedly look like my eyes.
He says he delivers packages in the Tucson area but had nothing to do with Nancy Guthrie's disappearance as the community rallies to bring her home. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
In British Columbia, authorities say an 18-year-old woman was behind the school shooting that left at least 9 people dead and 25 others injured.
This was in the remote small town of Tumbler Ridge, hundreds of miles northeast of Vancouver. Police say Jessie Van Rootselaar killed her mother and 11-year-old stepbrother at home, then killed a teacher and 5 12 and 13-year-old students in the school library. Darian Quist was in class when the school went into lockdown.
We just all need to work together as the close community that we are and make sure that everyone affected by this tragedy today gets the proper help and support that they need to keep on moving.
Authorities say the shooter died of a self-inflicted injury and had a history of police visits to her home to check on her mental health, though any motive remains unclear.
Coming up in the next half hour, an effort to save a local ice skating rink is catching the eyes of an Olympian. Who's pitching in? Plus, the Portland City Council is pushing out a new ordinance. Why the simple update has a more than simple meaning for some.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
I'm Trina Green, a morning anchor at KGW and new dog mom to this sweet guy. Meet Barry. I love getting your mornings off to a great start, whether it's sharing stories of resilience and triumph in our community, or following breaking news from Beaverton to Gresham and everywhere in between. We've got you covered, because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to KGW Sunrise, weekday mornings from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Good morning, I'm China Green. In her final event of the 2026 Olympics, Jackie Wiles placed 13th in the Super G. She placed the highest out of anyone on Team USA, but it still wasn't enough. Gold went to Italy, followed by France and Austria with silver and bronze. But a dozen skiers did not finish the event, either from crashing or skidding off the course. Wiles won't be leaving Italy empty-handed, though. She and teammate Paula Moulton took home bronze earlier this week in the team combined event. Headed over to Rod Hill for a look at weather.
All right, congratulations to them. We have varying cloud cover passing coming in off the Pacific this morning. This is the most overcast look I could find. Chinook Winds Casino Resort in Lincoln City. Here it's more of a partly sunny sky over the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club out in Aloha. 33 is the temperature. We've had some frosty spots, but no fog this morning. So some morning cloudiness, 46 degrees at noon, a little bit cooler than it's been. But then the clouds pass out of our area and we'll get back to more of a sunny blue sky for a bit of time this afternoon. I have us getting up to 53. It looks like the rain tomorrow holds off until the afternoon hours, showers on Valentine's.
Well, a legal battle is underway in Massachusetts over the scent of chicken. A Raising Cane's in Boston is suing its building owner for threatening to evict the Chicken Finger restaurant over its chicken smells. The company says it has spent $230,000 in an effort to minimize the odor.
Odor, that's fragrance, baby.
Yeah,
fragrance.
right? Fried chicken smells amazing.
Get Rod for Valentine's Day. It's a little chicken perfume.
Yeah, I've always said, man, that's one of my favorite aromas in the world, fried chicken. Put it on everything.
But if you're vegan, you probably don't like it so much, I guess.
Well, go somewhere else.
Anyways, let's go to the Chicken Master.
All right, Cane's Chicken, by the way, if you haven't been there, big thumbs up, I think. Here's a look at our Salem sky camera. We've got, well, a little bit of low cloudiness, some shallow fog trying to nip at the state capitol, but generally we have been fog-free this morning. 35 degrees down in Marion County. Here's a look at the it's a passing cloud band because it's going to continue to move out of our area today. This is a view from the Wells Fargo camera. Temperature out at PDX is 38 degrees, holding above freezing this morning. Still in the 40s at noon, running a little bit cooler out of the gate than we have been. But we should get into a period of mostly sunny skies coming this afternoon. That'll warm us up 53, 54, and we'll still be 50 at 5 p.m. This is a completely dry day once again across all of our region. And the cloudiness that we have this morning will be increasing this afternoon as it pushes out to the east. Shows John Day at 4 p.m. 49, about 51 in Bend, and there you can see the 50s again here on the west side. There's really no wind, even out in the Dalles, or excuse me, the Gorge, well, and the Dalles. Winds are light today. Here's our 7-day. So dry today, 53, maybe a little bit warmer. Tomorrow it looks like we're dry in the morning and afternoon rain comes in. Could be a quarter of an inch or so into the night. Now it looks like it's scattered showers on Valentine's Day, and maybe if you're out and about Saturday evening, there won't be that much rain. Sunday could be dry, and then Monday afternoon kicks off one of the more active stretches of weather we've seen in quite a while. Every day getting measurable rainfall the rest of the week with snow levels midweek all the way down to about 1,500 feet. Here's Chris.
All right, Rod, thanks for that. We'll get you out the door with a live look at the drive through North Portland. Something's hanging up the commuter was near Columbia Boulevard on I-5 southbound here. Looks like whatever it was, yeah, it's been cleared to the shoulder, but a little thick nonetheless. Coming off the Interstate Bridge to the tune of about 18 minutes to get you in from Hazeldale down to the Fremont. Over on the west side, it's sun glare. It's not like the blinding sun glare. It's a little filtered, so maybe that's why the drive's moving a little bit better than yesterday at this time, but nonetheless, you're tripping from Hillsborough, averaging about 23 minutes at last check. And also a reminder from TriMet, some delays right now on the Max yellow and orange lines, up to 15 minutes because of some earlier mechanical issues in Southwest Portland. We'll keep you posted. Matthew?
Chris, thank you. A medal is on the line for Portland's own Alessandro Barbieri after he clinched a spot in tomorrow's halfpipe finals.
And he's not the only local Olympian that we are keeping track of this morning. Corey Johnson joins us in the studio. So Corey, we're going to talk about Barbieri in just a moment. But first, let's talk about Jackie Wiles, who competed in the Super G overnight.
Yeah, that's right, Matthew. China, today's Women's Super G was the last speed event on the calendar for the Milan Cortina Olympics. Now, there will be no medal for Team USA on the tough course. Jackie Wiles, a Canby High School graduate, was the last U.S. skier to go in the Super G, placing 13th overall. Now, keep in mind the Super G is shorter than the downhill and with more gates, but has faster speeds than the giant slalom. Wiles claimed bronze in the women's Olympic team combined event in Cortina after a strong downhill run. Now to Portland native Alessandro Barbieri, the 17-year-old really making a splash in his first Olympic run on Wednesday. He delivered in his first debut as well, scoring an 88.50 on his first run, finishing 4th overall and qualifying for the finals. Now, snowboarders we spoke with on Mount Hood thought it was pretty incredible. He trained for the Olympics right here.
I am stoked because I ski the same things here, and the fact that he's out over there doing something that I wish I could, it's amazing. I'm stoked to watch it on TV.
And we only have to wait one more day to see if he can get on the medal stand. The half-pipe finals are scheduled for this Friday. China?
Thank you, Corey. And that's another medal on the board for Team USA. Madison Chalk and Evan Bates took home silver yesterday in the ice dance final. Their total score was just over 1 point behind France, who took home the gold.
It's been the most special journey. I mean, we've been blubbering our way through all these interviews, just reflecting on what an incredible 15-year journey it's been and how intertwined our lives are with this sport. And we fell in love on the ice and met each other through the sport, and all of our friends and support system are here because of the sport, and we're so grateful for everybody who's helped us get here.
There's even more figure skating content coming your way on KGW. The men's free skate starts at 9:45 our time tomorrow morning. That's where you can watch Ilya Malinin go for gold. Then next week is the final for the pairs free skate and the women's short program and free skate.
And speaking of Malinin, we've been talking about him all week, and beyond dominating the Olympics, he's now trying to help save a historic Portland building.
Yeah, Malinin is from Virginia, but he's throwing his support behind the Lloyd Center as the building and its ice rink are both slated for demolition. That's where we find Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz.
A group of skaters took 900 signatures to City Hall on Wednesday to show Mayor Keith Wilson just how much the Lloyd Center ice rink means to them.
So we want to give these to the mayor to hope that it will give a good impression to help save our ice rink at Lloyd Center Mall.
Oh, thank you. The rink has provided such a wonderful family of skaters, and they care for each other.
Skaters have enjoyed the Lloyd ice rink since it opened in 1960, but more than 65 years later, the rink is set to close, though some skaters refuse to go down without a fight.
If you were to assume that it doesn't matter as much, then you might actually be breaking some people's hearts, and I'd definitely be one of them.
And their fight has gone international. In Italy, U.S. Olympian Ilya Malinin shared this post supporting the Save Lloyd Ice Coalition. Back at the Lloyd Center, families understand change is inevitable. They'll say a place like this is one they'll never get back.
I know we can come to a compromise if they'll open themselves up to talking with us.
In a statement, Urban Renaissance Group, which owns the Lloyd Center, told us, quote, "We appreciate the skating community that uses the Lloyd Center ice rink, but the mall today is no longer economically sustainable, which sadly includes the operation and maintenance of the rink. Our future vision includes seasonal outdoor skating that we hope one day a new generation of Portlanders can enjoy." We also reached out to Mayor Keith Wilson's office about this. A spokesperson told us that, as of now, Mayor Wilson is not commenting. In Northeast Portland, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
Well, it's 8:37. Time to head over to Chris for a look at our morning drive. How are things out there?
I have some breaking news specifically for China and Matthew. There is a golden lab puppy named Hank in the newsroom right
now. This is distracting us.
I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to get off the anchor desk and go pet Hank. All right, let's get you out the door right now. For the rest of you making your way out on the roads, yes, golden puppies are super, super cute. He just licked my hand. All right, I-5 southbound. A little slow right now up near Columbia Boulevard, as it has been for a little while. Not bad, though. 18 minutes gets you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge, and most of that congestion is, of course, on the Oregon side of the Interstate Bridge. Over on the west side, inbound Sunset, a little slow out near Murray Boulevard, facing that rising sun. 23 minutes gets you in from Hillsborough to downtown. Again, not so bad. I'm going to go back and say hi to Hank. Back to you guys.
Bring him in here.
Thank you, guys. All right, your time now is 8:38. In other local headlines this morning, an investigation is underway after authorities pulled a man's body from the Columbia River. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office says the body was found around 1:30 yesterday afternoon near the Camas power lines. The medical examiner will work to ID the man and to determine how he died.
In Clackamas County, a corrections officer is in jail accused of sexual misconduct, and police say that there may be other victims. Paul Schultz is accused of having sexual contact with a corrections client at the Center for Substance Abuse Prevention in Milwaukee. Anyone with information on other potential victims should reach out to Milwaukee police. And of course, if you or someone you know is a survivor of sexual assault, know that help is always available. You can get support 24/7 by calling the National Sexual Assault Hotline at the number on your screen. That's 800-656-4673. Meanwhile, Southeast Portland's Leach Botanical Garden is reportedly laying off half its staff and slashing educational programs after the city ended its annual subsidy. Now, that's according to the Oregonian. The garden, which is a popular spring destination for everything from Mother's Day visits to school field trips, served tens of thousands of people last year. The nonprofit reportedly could shut down without new funding.
Portland City Council passed an ordinance requiring all user gender-neutral signs on single-stall public restrooms. Supporters say the change expands access for parents, older adults, people with caregivers, and the LGBTQ community. Businesses won't need to remodel. The city will provide signs that can be posted. Council leaders say that this simple update reflects Portland's values of inclusion and safety.
So when I was a kid, I would used to just like eat raw pasta out of the box sometimes.
When you were a kid?
Yeah.
And China still does.
Okay.
With the Winter Olympics going on in Italy, China and I are getting into the spirit by learning how to make pasta from scratch. So look at our trip to Grassa in downtown Portland after this.
Hey everybody, here at ShopTVDeals.com, we'd love to bring you products that are actually going to make your life better. Take a look at this right here. This is an actual legitimate bank statement. And the only reason I feel comfortable showing that on camera is because of this amazing little device right here, the ID Defender. This is going to save you so much stress and so many problems and so many headaches, and it's so easy to use. Check it out. You just roll it off, and any private information that you want to make unreadable, one roll and you're done. Just like that. So much better than shredding, which is not environmentally friendly. It takes a while, it takes up space. Don't go that route. Also, this Sharpie, not gonna save you either, because sometimes the Sharpie, even though you've used it on information, when you hold it up to the light, you can still kind of see what it says. Years ago, I was taking care of my sick dad and I had to deal with all of his papers. I wish I'd had this. I could have saved a fortune in shredding. 6.5 million cases of identity theft reported to the government in 2024 alone. That's a massive problem, but here's a simple solution. On top of that, we have an absolutely great deal for you. Almost 50% off this 3-pack yours for $24.97. For more information, just check out that QR code, scan it there on the bottom of your screen, or check us out online at ShopTVDeals.com. The ID Defender, a simple, amazing solution to a big and growing problem. Be sure to check it out. Keep you and your family safe.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
The Olympics brings eyes across the world to its host cities of Milan and Cortina, including celebrating all things Italian culture.
That's right. And China and I got the chance to get some lessons on how to make a handmade pasta dish that represents the flavors of northern Italy with a lot of help. And it was alongside our photojournalist, Chad DeHart.
We're going to make tortelli of butternut squash. We're making it because I love it.
How do we start this thing?
We make a well. The eggs are going to get cracked in the center, and then we're slowly going to incorporate the flour into the eggs.
I was telling you, Chef, my family's dad's side's very Italian. My grandma came from Sicily, but I've never handmade pasta in my life.
This is the best part about handmade pasta is the egg dough. It's stronger than you think.
Well, yeah. Don't worry, I got it. I have always wanted to handle one of these. Bakers, you're halfway through.
Just butternut squash that's roasted with a little bit of butter and mix it with Parmesan cheese, a little bit of amaretto cookie. So basically it's just 1 and 2.
So when I was a kid, I would used to just like eat raw pasta out of the box sometimes.
When you were a kid?
Yeah. You're always a kid. Age is just a number.
I think these look very good.
Yeah, great job.
All right, we'll give them like 7 pieces each. So this is just whole butter, chopped sage, and amaretto cookies.
Cheers.
That is so good. It's like sweet.
The pasta like literally just like melts in your mouth.
Put that on the menu. That is the best pasta I've had in my life.
And for anyone wondering, that dish, again, if you missed it, was called tortelli butternut squash, a perfect wintertime dish with the flavors from the Lombardy region of Italy, home obviously to Milan. And that dish isn't on the menu there, but we were like, you need to put this on because it was incredible.
They were considering it, so we'll see.
You guys made it look really, really tasty.
It is.
I'm sold.
It was a lot of fun.
All right. It's not a bad morning, a little chilly, but there's no wind, which always makes it feel not that bad to me personally. We're up here on the weather deck, brought to you by Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking. And basically you can tell it's a high deck. It's kind of partly sunny out here. These clouds will continue to move off. They could thicken at times, but this afternoon, these clouds will be off east of the Cascades, and we'll get into, I think, more of a sunny blue sky day. It's all dry. There's no wind. It's going to be a really, really pleasant Thursday for you. Satellite picture shows those clouds. You can see them. They're, again, going to be pushing off to the east as we get rolling through the day. Brian Matthews, I was so positive my iPad was going to work today, but I need you to flip my maps for me, sir. Thank you very much. Our director extraordinaire. Here's our futurecast, and you can see the clouds right there this afternoon starting to push east of the Cascades. There they go. And then here's tomorrow morning. Growing confidence, and Brian, go ahead and take us through this, that will be dry in the morning hours. Here's 2 p.m. That's when we start the chance of rain for Portland. That comes through for a rainy backup of the afternoon into the evening, some snow up and down the Cascades. And then as we go into Saturday, it's showery weather coming up from the south. This may be underdone. To me, I really think we're going to get more rain on Saturday, scattering what this is indicating. We'll see. Models do show that any rain on Sunday will be minute, meaning certainly a mainly dry Sunday or mostly dry Sunday. Here's our Rose City camera. You can see the Got a filtered sun over the Moda Center, looking up I-5, 38 degrees is the temperature there, and other numbers across the state. 34 Kelso, 35 Astoria. Freezing out in the gorge, and all winds in the gorge are light this morning, including up in elevation at Corbett. It'll stay that way today. Valley forecast numbers, really just another nice day. Not the clear blue that we had yesterday, but this still shows you folks in the mid-valley, Corvallis, Salem, McMinnville, up to about 56 degrees. Portland 7-day, we'll get up to about 53, maybe 54. It was 58 yesterday. And then tomorrow it's the rain coming in the afternoon, into the night, the scattered showers on Valentine's. I still think it's at least possible there's a shower on Sunday, but it looks like it's a mainly dry day. And then we have a very active pattern setting up Monday of next week. Starting Monday afternoon, every single day, Monday through Friday into the weekend, shows a new push of moisture. That comes with that 30 inches of mountain snow that we're looking for next week up in the Cascades. All right, it is birthday time. All right, today's party starts with Carter, who is 6 today. Happy birthday to you. Love the outfit there. We got Mason, who's also 6, graduate. Happy birthday to you. And we have one more today. Camilla is 11 years old today. Happy birthday to you. Hope you have a really fun day. I believe that's our list. Yep. Send us your photos to birthdays@kgw.com, and we will celebrate with you. Chris McGinnis, literally not a breath of wind up here this morning.
Well, that beats last week when you were out there earlier, like shivering because it's so windy and cold. All right, let's get you out the door. We'll start down here. Door number 4 here shows us, well, there was something there that was hanging up the drive heading westbound into the Vista Ridge Tunnel. Whatever it was, looks like it may have cleared. But in any event, always got my eyes out looking for stuff like that. 17 minutes right now. Your I-5 South Drive from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Most of that, in fact, all of that slowing is in North Portland, right around the Expo Center down to about Lombard. That's probably the slowest stretch of Portland Freeway right now. Over on the west side, inbound Sunset out near Murray Boulevard, slow and steady coming in from Hillsborough. We're up to 22 minutes now to get you from Brookwood Parkway to downtown. Sunrise rolls on after this short break.
I'm David Mulco, the evening anchor at KGW. Though when I'm not working, I like to spend as much time as possible out here in nature. So I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. You see, what happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still, it moves. It moves you to act, to vote, to volunteer, to talk about it, to speak up, or to lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at KGW, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Portland.
In a wrap of our top stories this morning, in Clackamas County, a corrections officer is in jail accused of sexual misconduct, and police say there may be other victims. Paul Schultz is accused of having sexual contact with a corrections client at the Center for Substance Abuse Prevention in Milwaukee. Anyone with information on other potential victims should reach out to Milwaukee Police. Police are still looking for the suspect or suspects involved in the first of 2 shootings Monday night in Kaiser. A father was shot in his car while leaving the In-N-Out with his family, including 2 young kids. He was hit in the head, but officials say he will survive. Another man was shot in the leg in that same incident. And in her final event of the 2026 Olympics, Jackie Wiles placed 13th in the Super G. She placed the highest out of anyone on Team USA, but it still wasn't enough. Gold went to Italy, followed by France and Austria with silver and bronze. But a dozen skiers did not finish the event, either from crashing or skidding off course. Wiles won't be leaving Italy empty-handed, though. She and teammate Paula Moulton took home bronze earlier this week in the team combined event.
And congratulations to her. We have a nice day again. Some filtered sun out there currently with partly sunny skies. It'll be more of a sunny day later this afternoon. 53 or warmer. Yesterday was 58. Looks like we have a dry Friday morning. Rain picks up tomorrow afternoon. Showers on Valentine's Saturday.
Checking the rails this morning. TriMet still reporting some delays on the Max yellow and orange lines, up to 15 minutes because of some earlier mechanical issues in downtown Portland. Your freeway drive this morning actually doesn't look all that bad. The upper right-hand part of your screen, that's I-5 up near Columbia Boulevard. That's probably the slowest stretch of Portland Freeway right now. 20 minutes or so gets you in from Hazeldale down to the Fremont Bridge.
And finally here this morning, again, Valentine's Day is Saturday, and we're all familiar with the traditional gifts like chocolate and flowers, but we're asking you to share what you really want for Valentine's Day. Do you want some fried chicken cologne like Rod?
Yes.
Do you want a Domino's pizza like China? Maybe some new running shoes for Chris. I don't know. Text us your answers and we'll share them throughout the morning tomorrow on Sunrise. And be sure to include your name and where you're from.
I've seen a sneak peek of some of the answers so far.
They're good.
They're varied, just like our audience. It's great.
One of them was a washing machine.
And one of them was something like an
Functional.
ankle-length cape.
A cape?
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
What would you like for Valentine's Day? A
I
Valentine?
just want a Valentine.
He's single, ladies. He's single.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
He's about 6'1", can bench press 280 pounds.
No, he can't.
Yeah, no.
He's,
I just, not after shoulder surgery, I can't, no.
You're not supposed to say that.
Well, you know, I gotta
You
get
got in
it
a
out
fight with
there.
a lion. Anyways,
Thank goodness I'm already married because my profile doesn't sound that good.
He wears a really nice cologne, too. It's got a nice...
no, he smells like feet.
Well, that's good.
Says the girl who lifted up her arm earlier
And said, "I forgot to wear
gave her a
deodorant."
whiff and said, oh, because that's bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to wash this dress. Hey, a reminder, you can watch this every day, live exclusively
Why wouldn't
here
you want to?
on KGW Plus starting at 7. And just so you know, we've also added another half hour of news at 12:30 and 5:30 right here on Plus. We hope to see you then.
I want a co-anchor that wears deodorant for Valentine's Day.
Okay. Pipe down, kid.